Welcome! This is a tutorial for the newest trick that's been found in Bastion speedrunning known as Ticketless. It allows us to save about a second and a half in Wharf District, along with potentially producing a lot of new experience routes. So before we get started, just know, especially if you're a new runner watching this, just know that this trick is very difficult. It's incredibly precise and basically needs to be done on the first try in order to save time with it. So I would not recommend this trick for new players. Spend some time just getting more used to the game. This is not a trick that really wants to be implemented until you're chasing after world record, for example. So, in the normal route through this level, you'd be going through and picking up Whirlwind on your way here to this barge, at which point you would hop on, and an auto-scroller would start that lasts about 24 seconds between hitting the switch and being able to get off, while this barge slowly winds its way along this track toward the last arena of this level. Now, you can be a little far away from the switch in order to do this, but when you hit the switch, you'll notice that these invisible walls pop up around the barge. That's to stop you from doing basically exactly what we're trying to do in this level. So what we want to do is be close enough to the switch to hit it while being far enough away that we're not on the barge. That will cause us to be stuck in this invisible wall, which will let us go back through. And you'll notice, once that auto-scroller finishes, around that 23-24 second mark, it'll just teleport us right here. The game will check where we're at, because we should be at the arena by this time, and if we're not, the game will just do some work for us and move us right over to this arena. So, in order to set this up, what we want to do is first get into the right position. After which I'll show you what we can do with Ticketless while we're doing the auto-scroller. So let's just go through this level normally. We're going to not pick up Whirlwind. That would be the thing that we normally do in this route, but we're going to come back to it later. Go to the distillery, go to the arsenal, and then head over this way to the barge. And the position that we want to be in order to make this work is right about here. I aim for pretty much the far right corner of this last tile here, so that we're close enough to hit the switch. Now, this position is very precise. If you're a little too far away, you notice I barely moved, but I was far enough away that I can't hit the switch now. And if you're a little too close, then the invisible walls that pop up will push you onto the barge, and you won't be able to do Ticketless. Technically, you can clip through these invisible walls from outside, but we've only seen it done once, and we haven't been able to replicate it or make it consistent since then. So, you want to be standing basically right in this position, right in the corner of this tile, so that you're close enough to the switch. Hit it, and then basically roll back through as fast as you can. You saw there, it's fine if you fall, because as long as you were in the right position and never got on the barge, then the game is not going to force you onto the barge if you fall. And you'll notice there's a lot we can do around here now. There's a bunch of sources of experience that we can get. We can get Whirlwind right now. That second and a half long animation is what makes us save that time in there. And we basically have those 24 seconds until we get teleported here. And you can move while in the blackout. So basically as soon as that blackout happens, it's going to teleport you here. So you can just already be on your way to this clip right here, so that you can end the level. Now, the positioning is kind of a difficult part of this, and that's kind of compounded by the fact that, ooh, did not mean to be in God mode there. It's compounded by the fact that because there's only a second and a half to save just on its own, you have to be very fast when you're setting up this trick. So, this is the route that I usually take in order to get myself in the right position without losing any time. So, you'll notice I was in the arsenal here. This was about where I ended. And you could be, like, anywhere around here, as long as you're basically, like, a little bit far away from the arsenal and on your way down this way. You want to head down. You'll have to wait a little bit for those to pop up. And that's basically what you have to do in order to save time. Basically moving along here, and what I'm trying to do as that's happening is I'm just trying to time my rolls such that when I get around here, I'm not mid-roll when I get here, so that I can very quickly position myself in the right spot and hit the switch, turn around, and head back. Remember, the positioning is very precise, so that's harder to hit than it looks like. But yeah, that's the basic way through Ticketless, and it allows you to do a whole lot with what used to be just an auto-scroller, which is a pretty huge development for this game. So, if you have any more questions, or just want to know more about Bastion speedrunning in general, there are links in the description below, both to our leaderboard, where you can just learn more about the game, and also to our Discord community. You can come on in, ask any questions that you might have about this trick or about the run in general. And with that said, best of luck with your runs.